People don't want to follow wishy-washy leaders. You have to be decisive, but to be decisive, you got to be fearless. So I started noticing that the best salespeople are also fearless. They're fearless in decision-making. They're fearless in pursuing.
Right.
They're fearless in asking. They're fearless in sharing their views. And this fearlessness pervades everything in their life. It's fearless in making a decision. They're not afraid to be wrong. They're not afraid to recommend. They're not afraid to, here's a great restaurant, go to it. Here's a great movie. They're fearless in recommendation in everything they do. Number one, I realized they were fearless. Number two, I realized that the best leaders, the best salespeople, the best in anything, oftentimes, especially in sales, they set the goal to be number one. And to test this theory, I would ask top performers, where at the beginning of the year, I would say, where do you think you're going to be ranked at the end of the year? And they go, number one. You ask an average performer and they say top 50%. So I was watching one of the examples that really made this. So number two, they're driven to be number one, and they set a goal of being number one in their organization, for their team, for themselves.
Right.
And once they set the vision to be number one, they work to the level required to hit the goal. If their goal is only be top 50%, they only work as hard as that vision. And I saw this when I was watching an interview of Olympians back in 2002. And they interviewed one skier who made the Olympic team, and they said, how do you think you're going to do in the Olympics? He goes, I don't know. I'm just happy to have made the team. I was thinking that was his goal. So he only worked as hard to do that. But a gold medalist, they work as hard as it required to get the gold. And so the guy that actually won the gold in the skiing, and I tell the story, is, I'll give you the quick abbreviated version. Going into the final run skiing in the Olympics, he had such a margin lead in the lead. All he had to do was make it down the hill and not screw up, just an average time, and he would have medaled. He went all out, balls to the wall, as I say, and he almost wiped out. He ended up not wiping out, and he ends up winning the gold. And they said in the interview after, they said, why did you risk everything? And he says this, I didn't come here to just get a medal. I came here to get the gold. So he played to win. And so they play balls to the wall is what I call it. And then the third thing I noticed in interviewing thousands of people is, especially in sales, what I noticed when I was a sales manager and even early in my career, oftentimes salespeople drop the ball. I would ask my sales reps, hey, so what's the status of that deal? And they look at you like a deer in the headlights, and they're like, oh, I gave them a proposal last week. I haven't heard back from them. And I'm like, what do you mean you haven't heard back from them? They haven't called me back. They said they were going to call me. I haven't heard from them. I'm like, you're being reactive. When I look at the top performers, they're proactive. They don't forget to make the call. Always on top of their schedule. They get done more in a day than most. And part of what drives them to get more done is decisiveness leads to more action, but then they're on top of it, whether they have a better memory or a better schedule. So they don't drop balls. So the reason I named the book Balls, The 3 Secrets of Success, is top performers have balls. They're fearless. Number 2, they play balls to the wall, right? They're driven, they're motivated, they're excited to be number 1. And number 3, they don't drop balls.